It's time to wrap this one up and light it. Whether you're taking a hit or taking a beating. I've been there, done that, still doing it now. But hey, welcome into Coffee with Dubs. Well, as we wrap up another week, I've been thinking about things we've been talking about over the last couple days. And we've talked about perseverance. We've talked about protecting our peace. We've talked about rebuilding that peace when life inevitably takes a swing at it. We've talked about paying attention to the little moments and appreciating ordinary days, finding reasons to smile even when life is not cooperating. The funny thing is, I don't think any of those were separate conversations. I think they were the same conversation, viewed from different angles. Life isn't really made from giant moments. Most of life happens at the space in between them. It's that morning walk. It's the conversation with a friend, the project you're slowly chipping away at. It's the next message that arrives at the right time. It's the decision to keep moving forward when nobody would blame you for taking a break. The older I get, the more I realize that progress rarely arrives with fireworks. Most of the time it shows up wearing work boots. It's not flashy, it's not exciting, it's just consistent. You keep showing up, keep trying it. You keep learning and you keep adjusting. Then, one day you look back and realize you've gotten a lot farther than you thought. And I think that's where we lose sight sometimes, because we're constantly measuring ourselves against where we want to be instead of where we used to be. We look at the unfinished projects, we look at the goals we haven't reached yet, we look at the things that still need fixing. Meanwhile, you completely forget and ignore the ground we've already covered. A few weeks ago, things you're dealing with today probably would have felt impossible. And a few years ago, some of the things that you handle routinely now would have intimidated you. Growth has a funny way of disguising itself. It doesn't announce its arrival. It quietly becomes part of who you are until one day you notice that you're carrying things that you would have normally been crushed by. Same thing applies to peace. Peace isn't something you find once and keep forever. Life doesn't work like that. People disappoint us. Plans fall apart. Stress shows up uninvited, and sometimes we create our own problems. Sometimes the world creates them for us. The goal isn't to avoid every storm. The goal is to learn how to steady yourself as the weather changes. That's something we've been spending a lot of time talking about lately, because protecting your peace isn't about avoiding conflict completely. It isn't about hiding from difficult conversations. It isn't even about building walls so high nobody can reach you. It's about remaining yourself when life gets loud and knowing when to speak, when to walk away. It's knowing when to let something go that isn't worth carrying another mile. And then there's the part that might be the most important lesson of all. Pay attention. Pay attention to the little moments. Pay attention to the people who make your day better. Pay attention to the unexpected things that make you smile. A butterfly crossing your path, a cooler morning after a weekend of brutal heat, and a good laugh with a good friend. A project that finally comes together. A cup of coffee shared with somebody you've probably never even met in person. Okay, or a cup of kibble. Yes, those moments don't solve every problem. They don't eliminate stress. They don't magically make life perfect. What they do is remind us why the effort is worth it in the first place. And I think that's why it seems that time moves faster as we get older. The clock isn't changing, we're changing. The more meaningful experiences we collect, the more life seems to accelerate. 1 minute you're starting a new week, the next you're wondering where the time went. 1 minute you're introducing yourself to somebody, and the next they've been part of your life for years. And maybe that's why it's so important not to postpone happiness until everything is perfect. Because perfection isn't coming. There's always going to be another challenge, another bill, another responsibility, another thing to add to the to-do list. If we wait for all of it to disappear before we allow ourselves to enjoy life, we're going to be waiting a long time. And I think that's the lesson I'm taking with me this week. Keep going. Protect your peace. Rebuild when necessary. Pay attention to the details. Make time for people who matter. Appreciate the moments that make you smile. Because one day, weeks become years, years become memories, and then it all happens. I don't think we remember every problem we've ever solved or every task we've completed. I do think we remember the conversations, the laughter, the friendships, the walks, the projects, and most importantly, the extraordinary moments that came out of the ordinary. And if that's true, then maybe the best thing we can do is stop rushing through these moments and start appreciating them for what they are and live in them. Now, I'm gonna hit the water. I'll see you tomorrow on another episode of Coffee with Dubs. Deuces.